all those who seek adventure, justice, and big damage numbers that come out of the enemy's head, welcome to Knights of New Avalon, a Beacon Odyssey, and the only NLR game that pays for your microtransaction horse armor. My name is Tate Washburn. I am the game maestro here. But before I do anything else, let me introduce you to my amazing players and beacons. Starting with a player who's been a joy in our first game together and a delight in every other way, Egg-chan.
The fuck? Oh, you flatter me, Tate. Hi, I'm Emily or Egg-chan. I have the joy of playing Yoon, Sapphire's Glare today. I'm so excited.
And we have the delight of having Hazyun here. Next, a player whose chaos, curiosity, and constantly creative character work, Chess.
Hello everyone, I'm Chouse, and my mango is to blow up. I'll be. You okay with it, Foxy? Okay. I'll be playing Ajax, the Trailblazer. Most hands and most guns are Machina Gunslinger. And you know, we might be finding out a bit more about their previous life today, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I guess that depends on how well you roll and doing stuff. We're gonna find out, anyways. And next,
Well,
a player,
good dice.
a player who has always surprised me with a brand new and completely different kind of character and approaches to campaigns, Lucian.
Hey, I'm Lucian. I'm playing Cam the Solitary Angler, and can't believe nobody's noticed yet that my character just looks like old Sokka.
You know
That
what,
makes
though?
so
Like,
much sense. I was like,
as soon as
man,
you said
Man,
it,
I gotta Google something real quick.
that's shit.
Yep, looking at that character portrait now, yeah, I see it. And last but certainly never least, you're good.
Brother's playing light-skinned Sokka. That's crazy.
I'm fucking dead.
On that note, last but certainly never least, a player and creative partner who has changed my life and made this campaign extra enjoyable, and especially this particular quest, Foxy.
Hello, everybody. I am Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Billy's finest, and I am happy to reprise my role today as the ever-intrepid Kana Alba, the Orient Cavalier, scion of the Kadrase people, the Sunborn Elves, and a free-running spirit with plenty of swords to back that up. It's been a fucking time hanging out in my home realm with my best friends. It's great. Also, my dad died.
That's great.
You know, happens.
As I said, I am
My
the
daddy
game
got
maestro. My
hit
name is
by a
Tate Washburn,
bazooka.
and I am playing literally everyone else in the known realms and beyond. I missed a pretty good joke. I think I was talking over it. Hopefully everyone at home heard, because I did not.
I bullshitted over your intro. That's my bad.
Last time on Knights of New Avalon, our players fought the Realmkeeper, and while they did an excellent job at preventing the Realmkeeper from eating this particular realm, the Ald Isles, the more important part is what they learned, that the Realmkeeper, as it left, felt afraid of dying, a supposedly endless being, a supposedly immortal concept of chaos, was afraid. They don't know where it has gone, or that it could leave, and are now here in the Ald Isles in the aftermath of all these revelations. They have been here now for a few days afterwards. I will detail what happened there, but in the time, the Ald Isles has a reckoning is the wrong word, in that the Council of the Islands had already planned for this, and were honestly waiting for the beacons before doing so. With the beacons and their ability to, through the realm crystal, identify any of the aetherlings that have replaced other beings, people have lost loved ones that they thought were with them only just moments ago. There is a lot of changing, which the Old Isles are not used to because of the amount of shuffling that has to be done with leadership and family and logistics. However, Perhaps it is the wisdom of the long-lived Kaldrasi people, or simply the nature of the Alt Isles and the floating islands ever shifting. The people here seem to be handling it better than they have any right to. It is in this place that is both so familiar and yet so changing to especially Kana, our Kaldrasi beacon, that we find our players. So, for my beacons, in this effectively like a week, maybe 2 weeks after the events, you are called upon at times to verify and check and look for aetherlings, but you mostly have a lot of time to do as you wish. You find that the people of the Alt Isles, as previously and also even after saving them, are far less starstruck by you than maybe some of the other realms and people of it, while still being very respectful and grateful. And that does free you up as well to kind of visit wherever and accomplish some of your last goals. We can let whoever wants to go first, but while you are here in this place and you really can't leave until you are done with, removing the aetherlings, who would like to, I don't know, have their downtime is the wrong word, but downtime scene mechanically?
I mean, I already got mine locked in, obviously, so I'm fine to go first.
Sure.
But if other folks are really chomping at the bit, I'm happy to hold off.
What I'd like to see maybe is we can start Ajax's, if Chouse you're able. Because I know you had a specific thing you wanted to do. You're muted.
At least for narrative wise.
Yeah.
But like mechanical wise, I think I've got an idea for that, but we can deal with that a bit later. It should be pretty easy.
Sure, let's do the narrative setup so we can consider the mechanical one for a bit. I want to sort of give everyone a chance to intro their scenes, and then we go around finishing them. So, for the audience, what are you doing?
Ajax is let's see, because we're still in the Alt Isles, correct?
Yes, for these next week and a half, 2 weeks or so, you effectively have to stay here to help them sort of clear out.
Yeah, to help them. Yeah. I think the first one would be Ajax kind of walking into the library again to ask the receptionist, just like, hey, do you have a copy of, and like they get interrupted by the receptionist, just like, we do.
Yeah.
And they're like, I need to find this particular publishment. I don't know like where it is, what its name is. I just know that it is about this age, and that's going to be of the metal plates about like reality magic. It's trying to get a gauge in what all was known at the time of reality magic, and if there were any stop gaps or like gaps in the knowledge at that time.
Yeah, you talked to the receptionist, and they seem like they already knew what you were here for, effectively. I think that possibly you've already sort of asked around, like, which island has the best library for this. And I don't think it is the capital. The capital has the most books, but you were looking for, like, some specialized knowledge. There is a sort of high magic specialist library for, like, the study of high magic in terms of, like, how it interacts with reality, especially, that you have gone to for this. And I think you've probably already gone to another library to get, like, a thing for translating, like, this language, effectively. That's what you found at the main library. You're here now for, like, this specialist knowledge to find these gaps, because you are pretty knowledgeable about high realm reality magic, but you want to make sure you have, I would assume, a larger knowledge base to see those gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%.
So, you find this place. It is an academic library more so than a public one, so it is both well organized, but the building wasn't made for it. So there is like a lot of like high towers that you have to like go up steps to find a small section in what was probably like a guard room or like a watchtower or some other function that is now crammed with custom made shelves to get everything in here possible. I'm curious. I don't think this is the thing that you're going to roll for, because I believe you also were going to try and use this to figure out the macro chip.
Yeah, this one is kind of just more of like, if this was about the same time as the shattering, what did they not know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like a roll for this, but we're not going to make this the downtime roll. We're going to say this is a skill check. So,
See,
yeah,
it's
if you would like to give
18
me
plus 2 to grit. I guess like plus like what's it, plus
maybe you already
3
got
for
a 20
mine?
without adding one of your
Yeah.
skills, so
Yeah.
I think that's because this is pretty simple for you, especially just like by your more mechanical nature. Just collating information is not like difficult. So you get a translation. You've like retranslated this. You probably have like a digital document version of it. I imagine there's like multiple versions because translations can be like kind of variable, especially in an old language we are not familiar with. You find that the things that they understood the most was like how to shape reality, but not necessarily like how to define the space that it happens in. This is before the shattering. They didn't have an idea of realms and like realm bubbles and a bubble where reality is a specific way. It's the equivalent of someone understanding how to create nuclear fission, but not understanding like how to contain radiation. You are immediately seeing how whatever they did could possibly have spilled over if one oopsie, and who knows how far it would go. I'm gonna give you, because you got a 20 before you even added a skill, and we can assume you would have been able to use a skill and get more. There's something about that that's nagging you, and I want you to just write this down for your macro chip roll. That you're gonna get an extra plus. Let's say a plus one, no, an advantage. You get an extra advantage of the macro chip roll.
Accuracy is what you're looking for, by the way.
Accuracy, yes. Damn. Too many systems, guys. Too many systems.
Too many.
I love it. Anyways, yeah. So you get an extra accuracy. There's something about how they describe reality that is nagging at you, not in the sense of their understanding of the magic, but like the nature of how it is endless. Like there's not a barrier or a line. That's why they didn't think of containment. But of like, oh, it goes on forever. You're like, well, yeah, in theory, like chaos forever outside of these realms is like your understanding of how the universe is. But for them, it was not chaos; it was order forever. You don't know what that really means in terms of like, there's something about that that's nagging you. Some part of your brain or soul is like, huh, why does that seem significant? So I want you to think about that. So while you're spending your time in the library, I believe Foxy and Egg, you have a scene.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think first and foremost is that, like, in the aftermath of the fight, Kana sleeps like a fucking brick. Like, I think he gets a solid, like, 20 or so hours of rest. Like, I think he sleeps through, like, that night and, like, the whole of the next day. Just unconscious,
Considering he didn't
recovering,
sleep almost
resting.
at all the day before, and then effectively took enough stress and damage to die, but was healed, like, a lot. I feels like that would exhaust you, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I burned through a lot. Which means I am needing calories dramatically. And so I think, like, the first scene we actually come in on is Kana, like, and the way Kana's, like, family home's kitchen is set up is, like, they have, you know, like a semi-open concept with like a kind of like bar stool area on the other side of like where the like, food is prepared.
Yeah.
Kana is just like in a high stool at that area, just like shoveling plates of food directly into his face as fast as he, I guess, inhumanly can. Just like dramatically picking up huge portions of like meat and like bread and just like scarfing them directly, like effectively bulldozes his way through most of his mom's food supply, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think
in fact,
like
I think we
yeah, go ahead.
If just a little flavor, we see Dross, your sort of family's assistant, I guess, come in with more food, and Kana's mother and grandmother, I think his grandmother especially, we don't see her use magic often, but she was a specialist in accelerating like her own speed, effectively your own like time stream with high magic. We see her cook at an incredible rate to try and keep up with Kana's appetite. It is like a lot of like, this has to be a conveyor belt. We do not have enough food, actually. But yes, continue.
100%. But I think eventually he just like takes a moment, stops, puts like his utensils down. All right then, time to train. And like, no other words, just hops back up and like, it's machine-like. Kana gets right back into his routine. Like he didn't just fight the manifestation of like the end of all reality the other day, just hops right back into his routine, walks back into the family yard, like starts off like at first, stretches first. Stretching is very important. You have to stretch. Very important to stretch.
Before and after.
Of course. And then like several rapid laps around the entirety of their property. He like does some like bench presses of the Brayox in the yard. It's just like lifting them up on their bellies for a while with push-ups. And then like I think actually it's probably right around where Hayes catches him is like in the middle of Brayox push-ups.
I imagine Hayes is seeing this Brayox going up and down like from afar and like what's happening? And
you also see two people watching. You don't really see Kana at first, but you see two people watching this beast of burden go up and down.
Yeah.
Is Desiree Tor, the Polearm warrior that Kana is childhood friends with, and Salva Ram, the former, in quotes, beacon.
Got you.
They're both standing, just watching, commenting to each other on Kana's technique. As you see, that's who they're watching, is Kana.
I think since Hayes sees them first, they will approach those two, not fully understanding what exactly is happening with the... What is the name of the animal again?
It's a Brayox.
A Brayox, yes. Not understanding what's happening with the Brayox. Maybe this is some sort of like natural phenomenon or mating ritual. I'm not sure.
As you approach them, they will greet you. Hail, Beacon Hayes. Have you come to watch? And gestures over to. Now you can see the very, very small Kana relative to the very large Brayox. How easy is this for Kana? It feels like this would not be difficult.
This is I think like the funny thing is, so Kana was raised with this specific Brayox. Her name is Shalane. He loves her very much, and he loves her specifically because she eats a ton, and so she's proportionally grown to always be a really good test of his strength. So like when he was younger, she was smaller, and she was always at the upper limits of strength. So, like she's always been a nice solid like benchmark of how strong Kana is physically. And so I think he's actually putting a fair bit of effort into this. Like it's not just like rapidly up and down. There's a solid like lift, breathe, push back, breathe, lift, breathe. So like it's effort, definitely.
Yeah.
He's working through it.
Yeah, it's not max lifting, like it's not one rep, but it is still like not hundreds. Yeah. And yeah, Brayox, this Brayox, in fact, Shalane, the Brayox is not fat. It is a massive... Did I say the name wrong? Excuse me.
Nope, you had it right. I was laughing at Chad, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Is like... It's like just an unreasonably large version of the species. Just like solid muscle. This is the one that's like, we only need one of her to do the work of 5 other Brayoxes. That's the kind of beast this is. And it's just completely docile and used to this treatment because you've been doing this since childhood. She seems she
She's
enjoys
really
it even.
built
This is
differently.
relaxing for her.
I think Hayes is surprised, but also has come to expect being surprised by Kana to some extent. So it's like, okay, that tracks in some way. They'll kind of like nod or like half bow to Desiree and Asalva and say, I was actually looking for Beacon Kana.
Desiree would be
If
the
you
one to answer. Like, well, you can always interrupt him. He probably will not stop, but should still be able to talk. He does not seem to be straining himself overly much.
Of course, there are a few things that can interrupt the routine.
We were just commenting that he has grown continually. We were worried when he left that he might not find as much of a challenge out there in the other realms, but and Desiree is unable to like really complete the thoughts, like and Salva, the more elderly and diplomatic of the two. But we find it comforting to know that he has fellow beacons that have helped push him far more than we did.
If anything, I would say Kana is the one that pushes all of us, but
That he has done.
we do our best to keep up.
Salva chuckles. Someone needed to.
Well, good seeing you, and we'll glide over to yonder Bray Ox.
Yeah, I think like Shalane makes a little bit of a noise.
Are you
as Kana-
counting your reps?
Yeah, he's counting. Just 245, 246, 240.
250! Nice!
Friend Hayes, that is incorrect. I think he'll take a very long breath, and then like shuffle
Is 250
Shalane
not
off to the
after
side.
249?
I was at 247. And we'll drop Shalane down. Thank you, girl. Much appreciated. And he'll kind of sit up and roll his shoulders. He has like a farmer shirt, but it's like wrapped around his waist now, so he's like bare from the waist up somewhat. And just, it is good to see you, friend Hayes. Are you well?
Of course. Have you recovered?
I would say my body feels roughly back into shape. Well, the best way to test that is with good training.
Do you care to spar?
He gives just like the most devilish smirk he's ever given. It would be my infinite honor.
Did I have a question just for the flavor of the scene before we cut to Cam? What is like the way you normally set up a sparring ground here? Is there like a specific place, or is it like a task of making it?
I think in this instance, because Kana was currently in the Brayox pen, I think his mother Lanaya is not far. It's not far. Or hold on, I might have got my own mother's name wrong.
Drenaya. Pretty close.
Drenai, there we go. Yes, Drenai is what it was.
Oh yes, I have my pronunciation
his-
guide here, and I did not.
Oh.
Yeah. So he hands it. I think he hands Shalane and the other to his mother, who's handling the other Brayox, and it's like, I think she is like watching the interaction the whole time, and he's kind of like, just gonna like open the pen door somewhat and like slide a hand out towards Hayes, and they're just gonna like put themselves out in the middle of the field. I think like kind of just in the middle of the family grounds. It's wide open. It's got some grass, a tree here or there. It's big and open, and we can make a bit of a mess if we gotta.
Yeah, I think Salva and Drenai both watch. Salva steps forward as like, without speaking, effectively the judge of like who wins in like an official sparring match. Though you also know, as a training match, it's not like formal point system or anything. He's probably gonna keep track of that, but you don't need to ask afterwards. It's not that important.
I mean, I know someone who will care about the results, so
So you could ask him afterwards.
it's probably best to have a ref.
Like Kana will like after taking Hayes through like the gate, will like take their hand and walk to the middle of like the area, like where Salma is, and will like deliberately stop like where like about roughly like 10 or center like sort of like 10 or so feet from where Salma is, and will like stop, turn, and kind of like gesture to them to like stay here, and then we'll like turn and walk again a good 20 feet away, so they're now a perfect like 20 feet apart with Salma to the side in the middle of them. Kana will then like straighten his back, turn. Beacon Hayes, you to the Magnolia Isles. I, Kana Alva of Lana, call you to challenge. Do you accept?
Certainly.
Then present your
And I
weapon.
think-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They heave their shovel over their shoulder and sort of bend their knees in stance, like excited and ready to rumble.
Kana will like give a very like Kadrase salute, like head and heart, and then as he touches his heart, he kind of like clutches his chest somewhat. There's that bright flare of light, even his eyes flash a bit gold for a moment, and he just like rips that cord of like hard light from his hand, and as it kind of like shifts and manifests, he just forms the entirety of the Greatsword Liberation directly in his hand. And like where before, and almost in like even during the fight, that was like an effort. Like he had to really try and like think through pulling out Liberation. It's just effortless. It just manifests in his hand, and he like forms it and then slams it into the ground.
I think this is
Solva-
also
you know.
really exciting because if I recall, the past time that they sparred, Kana used like either light swords or like
Mhm.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it obviously was not liberation.
He used the
I
polearm
think-
last time they fought.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was something lighter. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see these two
Yeah.
kind of matched in fighting style, at least in terms of this like heavy weaponry.
Solva stands between. He looks to both and says, "The challenge has been set. The weapons have been announced. Ready?" And in a voice as calm as anything, as you prepare stance, says, "Begin."
Yeah, just zips in max speed. He is so fucking
Yeah,
excited
we
right
see
now.
the clash, and we're gonna roll for that in a minute. But I would love for Cam to tell us what is Cam doing with this time.
Shit, Nick, sorry.
You're not wrong. So
Goddamn right.
what happened to the area where we fought?
The island reconstituted itself. The damage to the building has had to be repaired. Like the building itself still like decayed unnaturally and rapidly, right? But the crystal came together, the islands came together. And now, like for the first few days, it was them rebuilding the sort of temple and protective structure around the realm crystal.
Gotcha. So there's no real remnant of like magic or anything left there.
I mean, the realm crystal's already extremely magical, and there
Right.
is above and below it in sort of like the realm bubble the like film of the realm bubble is still volatile. Like they have to watch those because that's probably where more chaos could enter into the realm.
In that case, I think Cam will be standing guard there while also fishing
Of course.
in that area of chaos.
I do think Rodram might also be keeping guard
Mhm.
with his family of ships, or his family's ships. So he probably is. You've noticed he's taken a particular interest is not the right word. Maybe he feels responsible to some way for this. His father is still recovering, is all you know, and while Rodram has several of his crew on the sort of upper part of the realm. If you're fishing, I believe you'd be at like the lower part of the bubble,
Yes.
where you're effectively just dipping your fishing rod into the Aether Sea
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
And he also, just like a really small ship, and just him are there. So you're also, like, it's about the size of your houseboat, so they're probably equivalent in size as they're just near each other. He won't disturb you if you fish silently. He, I think, is just enjoying the quiet and your presence.
I think if anything, Cam will definitely ask him, maybe every other day he'll just kind of turn him and go, any updates on your father?
Yeah, on this day, if you don't mind, we'll say it's probably like near the end of the first week.
Mhm.
He says, better. He's more present. The first few days he did not know where he was or what had happened. It seems that he is rediscovering the memories of while he was being replaced in his own body. It is, and Rodram clearly is having, it's not difficult like he doesn't want to do it, but he is not sure how he feels about this. It's like it must have been terrifying for him, and I cannot imagine. It's good to see that he
Yes.
is still strong.
It's hard to think of what he went through. I'm glad we were able to make it here in time.
He nods. We will always be grateful. Not to downplay your fellow beacons, but for your help in particular was important.
Cam will shrug and shift a little. You know, it is hard to judge individual contributions. Each beacon has their own strengths and weaknesses, and if it was just me, or just Kana, or just Hayes, or just Ajax, I don't think any of the accomplishments we've had would have been possible.
He nods that this is wisdom. I've had a hard time thinking of it that way. My life that way. It would be wise to do so, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance. Each person is important in their own right, but there is also importance in the greater goal and having people to rely on.
We rely on you, the beacons. I mean, and I'm sure all the beacons rely on each other, but we rely on you now. We have relied on you. So as I said, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
If you don't mind, perhaps a lighter subject, can you teach me how you fish so well? You've caught 4 times as many as any fisherman I've seen, and he manifests his bow, but not fully strung. He can't really make a hook because he only has the one weapon, but he does like pull a hook out. He's like, I've been watching you these last few days, and I feel like there's a technique to it. I must be missing something. Is it your magic, or is it? And he will continue to ask if we want to dig into that. But it seems like he wants to ask about your interest.
Special
Be like,
interest
"Keep me."
card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Cam will look over and
Fighting.
there is almost anger in his eyes as he goes, "That is far too springy and flexible for a fishing rod."
I see.
And he'll turn around and kind of stomp into his houseboat and come back out with a spare rod and go,
Excellent.
"Try this, and we will see in a few hours what changes that results in."
And yeah, unless there was more you wanted to say in the scene, I think that we kind of leave on like him showing like the difference of like, see, your bow is doing this, the rod is doing that. Like these are the two different.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Huh, I wonder if I can modify the boat." And you're like, no. You
Fucking
need to like.
Cam turns around with fury in his eyes. You have the audacity to call that a fishing rod? This is an insult to the game. You're a third-rate fisher with a fourth-rate rod.
Exactly. By goddamn fishing rod.
So, with those sort of set up, I would love if we went to the downtime activity and figure out what are the things each of you are doing mechanically so we can roll for it. Clearly, Kana and Hayes are doing training, right? That's
Not
the idea.
training.
So if you guys want to roll that now.
So here's the funny thing with training is it really depends on what you pick. You can choose to train either a background skill or a class. If you choose a class, you do roll to find out the result and see what you get. But if you choose a background skill, you just get that.
It's fair. So is this a background skill that you guys are training in or a class?
I'm conflicted because I would love to just ramp up my overwhelming font of high magic even more before I level up to make it even higher then. That would be really fun and cool. But also, getting new class toys to play around with could be interesting.
I should have thought about that ahead of time, because I don't know.
If that's going to take a little bit of time, seems
if
like...
you want, it seems like the more important thing that would be fun to figure out would be rolling to see how the trading goes in general, which I'd be fine to do that.
Yeah, the outcome of the sparring.
Yeah, that's more fun to just do,
that.
period. Yeah,
And
let
we'll
me
say,
find my D20. I should have grabbed that, given that we're playing this game. You know what? Never credit me for having incredible hindsight. Where the fuck is my D20? I'm so sorry. I'm bubbling right now, gang.
All those dice and no D20.
I know, right? I got like
Two
two
D6
D20s in
coded.
here. I'm honestly got too much battle tech in my brain. I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Free me. Anyway, here we go. I'm ready. I'm locked in.
Go for it.
I'm obviously gonna roll with my student of the Sundancer technique because why would I not?
Understandable.
What is Hayes like? What's the skill that Hayes is using in this sort of one-on-one sparring then?
I would say Scholar of Souls, because I think my thought is obviously Kana is incredibly quick and will be landing many attacks. Hayes' goal is to kind of stand firm and absorb. Ideally, like kind of like a war of attrition sort of thing. Like, surely eventually he's going to get tired. Surely, one would think, but we'll see.
You're like, I gotta rope-a-dope this man.
But also testing my stamina, huh?
God fucking damn it!
Listen, somebody had to say it.
The fanfiction writers.
It's honestly, it writes itself.
Yeah, I'm the fanfiction writer. Yeah.
I need 3 fix on AO3 tonight. I need. There's not. Get on it.
On my desk tonight.
So I need 3 AO. I need at least 4 chapters on my desk tomorrow morning. Get to it. Any case, I'm ready to roll. If you're ready to roll.
Roll them.
Yar.
Hold on. I don't have my sword dice ready. I apologize.
Rank 3 is 3d6, and I take the highest one and add it. Yeah.
Yes. I'm also rolling with rank 3.
Thank you, because I don't remember things.
Ooh, that's not bad.
15 plus 2 is a 21 plus grit, yes?
Yep. I've got a
So
15 plus 6.
20
Sorry, 15, 16. Nope. No. Yes, 15 plus 6.
And then plus grit.
Plus my
23.
grit is, I think, 20. 15 plus 6 is 21?
Yep.
Yes, 21 plus 2 for 23. Did we tie?
Wait, we're matched.
Equal.
Did we tie?
Interesting.
Yeah, we did.
Wow, how perfect.
Honestly,
Well,
I
love.
think your did the
So I
sword
think,
of your
uh,
ancestors get met with a shovel?
Hey, it's
Listen,
it's not
uh,
just any shovel, it's also the power of my soul.
Exactly.
All the
Don't
tombstones,
underestimate me.
all the friends. I think that's the thing, Hayes, you realize very quickly. You're not going to completely tire Kana out, but you need to tire him out enough for him to make a mistake.
Mhm.
And you also realize that he's going to get through your defenses if you wait too long. Like, this is like, you have to find that mistake fairly soon.
Yeah.
I think narratively, you basically have to, like, you think you see an opening, and you kind of do, but in my head, it's like a simultaneous clash. Like, you get each other at the same time.
Yes,
The old Goku and Vegeta hit each other in the face at the same time kind of a deal.
Yeah, I think that's also so fun between liberation and the shovel, as the
Mhm.
idea of those two weapons, like just physically.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I imagine it's the
there's a
kind
lot
of thing where, like,
tombstones jumping in between of weapon slash between you and the attacks.
I imagine it's like, I imagine it's a lot of, like, maneuvering, positioning around each other, like, in things like that, of, like, Hayes' swings are easily avoided by Kana, Kana's swings are met by Hayes, but every time their weapons clash, it's just, like, that wave of pressure, grass flattens around them, trees shake nearby, like, it's just, like, this imposing force every time their, like, energies meet, and as well as their weapons, like, and I feel like, I think for Kana, like, every fight for him has always been like, oh, I'm trying to test myself. Like, I'm just trying to see if I can move past my own limits. I think fighting with Hayes right now, in this moment, is maybe the first time that fighting has ever truly felt like two partners dancing for him. Where it's like, these are just two people, like, it's the anime thing of, like, you know, the joking thing of, like, when two people of equal strength meet, you can, like, feel each other through their weapons. And I think that Kana is having that moment for among the first time in his life, where he's like, oh, this is what that's like. This is what it means to fight someone on even terms, to, like, feel their, like, emotions and their feelings and their thoughts through their impact, through their weapons, through their movements. And I think he is just lost in this, like, giddy glee at the fun that they're having, and, like, the way it makes him feel like everything else just kind of melts away. Like, and I think it honestly, funnily enough, does end with Hayes finding an opportunity on him. Like, I think there's a moment where, like, they've been meeting strikes too often, and Kana finally makes a swing that Hayes actually, like, sidesteps and avoids, which is not a thing he would expect from them at all. And it's, like, in that moment that, like, they're able to, like, you know, back end of the shovel, like, knock Kana to the ground for a brief moment.
I have a question for Kana. Did he only use liberation the whole
Yep.
fight?
He did not switch for the whole fight.
Interesting. Okay, so Hayes finds this opening. I think because you tied, Kana, you still, like, even while being hit, twist that around to also getting a hit on Hayes.
Oh, I actually had a thing for that, but I was gonna. No, I think Kana does actually go, like, to the ground, like, you know, on his back, like, falls over some. Liberation is, like, jammed into the ground next to him, so he's, like, doesn't have a hand on it, and, like, he kind of smiles and just, like, a warrior's end comes when they finally relinquish their weapon. I am beaten, friend Hayes. Well done.
Yeah.
Hayes will extend a hand to pull Kana back up.
Kana gives this dagger-like smirk and, like, leaps up really suddenly, like, lands on Hayes' arm, leaps again over them, and then lands behind them, and then smiles. But never let your guard down.
Yeah, I think
There's like a smile on Hayes' face of like, I actually won, and it quickly falls with that
Oh,
comment.
Well, it might, but there's also now a flower in your hair.
Oh.
I do think off to the side
Yeah.
there is a moment of like Dranai, Kana's mom, who's been like doing some idol work with the Bray oxen, like looks over and sees the flower, and there is just like a very small wry smile.
Mm-hmm. Although I think that Janai was talking with Salva during this.
That's fine.
They're both watching. This moment where Kana jumps over, there's like a pause, and Salva, Beacon Kana, and his voice, while being calm, is louder than normal. Says, "Why did you pick only a single weapon?"
It simply felt like what was calling to my soul. I pull the weapons that feel like they are best for me. They are as free as my heart is. In this moment, this simply felt like what called. After all, and I think he like puts a hand on liberation and looks at Ace. You were the reason this happened. You pushed me. Called liberation from the depths of my soul. I wouldn't be here if not for you, friend Ace.
Salvin nods. He walks closer to Kana and puts a hand on his shoulder. He says, "Kana, I have in the past been perhaps too harsh on your habit of many weapons. I believe we, as a people, have been too harsh on that choice. You have gained wisdom to notice that it is your connection to your friends that has brought out greater power. In fact, I have been foolish to not consider and remind you that as a beacon, you are connected to all of us." And he smiles. "Perhaps that is why your soul calls too many weapons, for it is connected to many people. You have grown strong, though not much less foolish. It is good that you have friends."
He smiles at his master and also smiles over back at Hayes again. People in our lives are pieces, materials that accumulate and offer us things. Wisdom, bonds, compassion, reasons to fight. They are tools, things that we accrue as our lives go on. You can do many things with them. But as someone I respect recently reminded me, all great men build things.
I have nothing left to teach you, Kana. Go
You
forth,
learn-
beacons.
It would be an honor. And I think he is like, turns and smiles back at Hayes again. Training with you is much fun, friend.
And you the same. I think Hayes will sort of look to Kana and Liberation, kind of like not fully understanding how Kana manifests these weapons, but say, if this is a weapon of your soul, it is truly a reflection of that beauty.
He blushes
That's an impressive
really
fight.
hard, actually. And like looks away somewhat. You are kind beyond words. We have had many conflicts together, friend. And there are many more yet to come. We will face beasts
Indeed.
and warriors and gods together. But I feel
And we'll take them
that
down.
together. Promise me that, friend Hayes. Promise me that until this is through, you and I will go into every fight together.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
And he like reaches his hand out, and again, I think his hand is fairly smaller than hers, but like hooks his pinky around theirs and like holds their hands together for a brief second and just smiles at them.
I think Hayes will smile back and pull the flower from their hair and slip it into like a pocket of their robe so that they don't lose it.
No. I was asking in our little group chat, but do we want to do a break now, or do you want to do one or two more scenes first? What are you guys feeling?
I'm
Up to
cool
y'all.
for a break, honestly. If y'all are cool for a break, we're about an hour in.
I'm
Sure.
cool. I had like an idea for like a little like tiny thing, but that can lead into the next, I guess, narrative scene.
Well, yeah. Give me the flavor for the tiny thing, and then we'll do the next narrative scene.
I think we would next see like it would be definitely like a brief look at Ajax at the edge of the realm. They probably like. My thought is like within the Old Isles, the
Mhm.
edge of the realm isn't on any kind of ground, so they're probably on like a little skiff almost.
Yeah.
And they're like just at that edge, almost like half of the skiff is like in the realm and out, and Ajax is kind of standing in the middle of it as they are trying to feel what the edge of the realm constitutes, to note the differences and see the transition and feel like the edge of the fabric. And I've got a feeling that like them standing is like they're having some trouble, and they kind of talk to themselves just like, how does Kana do this? What is the meditation? I've seen them both do it, referring to both Kana and Hayes, but like it doesn't make any sense. And then they sit down crisscross, and it's just like it's the mentality of everything should be ones and zeros, and I feel like that is where they're getting tripped up on, and like they almost have to take like almost a breath, but like they can't.
Yeah.
And like, you know the scene in Avatar: The Last Airbender when it goes to like how Toph sees the world?
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's something similar to that, and they just everything goes black space with white outlines as there's like this blue almost waving fabric of the realm behind them, and only like strings of like multiple different colors in front of them as it kind of like zooms into like this frayed edge.
Yeah. And I think that's the moment, and in my head you have like the macro chip, right? Like that's sort of also a thing that you're considering, and that sparks something, because as you've tried to access it, it just doesn't really work. Like there's stuff in it, but none of it really translates to anything. It just seems like chaos, which maybe standing in and out of chaos, you have a thought of it's not ones and zeros, there's something in between. And that sparks inspiration, which we will get back to in about 10 minutes after this break. Hello, Twitch, and hello, Internet. We are back with Knights of New Avalon, a Beacon Odyssey. Before the break, Ajax, our robot man gunslinger, has discovered why he could not access some ancient technology. He was thinking too much in a binary. Now, I'm going to give you some flavor, you give me some flavor, like how this works, but you effectively are like, okay, I can access this. I need to like change the way I think about it a little bit, or how like I structure the thing that's reading this.
I just got the joke. He was thinking too much in a binary. He's a robot. He's always thinking in binary. I just got the joke.
So like So, while Chouse recovers, so Ajax has to create either like a system to translate it into the way that he processes information, or changes the way he processes information. But my first question is, one, where does Ajax go to do that? And two, like, what's the flavor you want to set up for how you're going to read this thing?
Let's see. Between the
You do have access to the
two,
ship as well.
yeah. I think it'd be a bit of a well. Let's see. Ajax would try to change in the way that they think. They would be able to easily recognize that purely just having the information bend and translate to
Will be like less accurate.
yeah, to not only be less accurate, but also it's my brain wants to say the word selfish in trying to bend the data to
Yourself as opposed to bending yourself for the data.
yeah, and then
Fair,
also with doing that, getting access to more perspectives in like, oh, there's probably stuff that I've missed through my one perspective.
Yeah.
And in trying to, I guess, not alleviate that, but I'll say,
Evolve, as he often
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Perfect. So, then the other question of, where do you want to do this?
Well, if he's locked down to the Old Isles, I think they would want to do this on the ship.
So you have access to the Aether Wake. There's also the engineering team of the Tiffets, the quintuplets, and also some of the wizard interns may in fact be able to help you set this up. So I think you have the ability to do this.
I keep forgetting we have interns.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
let's
on
be
the
real.
payroll.
The
they're unpaid.
captain has interns. You would have to ask Zane if you can borrow their interns. Anyways, so you have your room. In my head, you've like set up almost like a mechanical ritual circle almost. And you start this process. I would love for you to roll hit the books because you are effectively learning new things.
Yeah. That is a 15 with a 3. And then, so plus grit would be 22.
Ooh. So yeah, you...
without any abilities.
Yeah, look, 22 is great. You don't need to add the abilities. You, I think you get the most help, actually, from Zane. Strangely enough, like, you get some help setting this up from the engineering team. Like, some of the interns, like, offer advice, but in the end, Zane, despite not really being a technical person, upon hearing that you're like, I need to think in more than just, like, a binary, I need to think in more than just yes or no, ones or zeros. Zane's magic isn't what helps as much as Zane offers you this perspective on, like, well, can you have both or neither? Is that an option? And so you're effectively, like, recoding how your brain thinks about this information as you kind of train it on this, like, macro chip data. As you do this, and you can give me flavor about that in a second, the thing you discover is that this macro chip at first seems to be about astronomy. It's tracking stars. And I need to be clear here, this is like a blind spot for everybody in the world. Because every realm, the stars are not a thing people talk about because it's just part of the illusion as far as you're aware. Like, it's just part of the everything outside of the realm is just chaos, and anything that's past that bubble that you see is not real. If you want to, like, how does this look for you to look at that? Like, how does this look when you change your perspective here, both in the data and also this is what this book is about, before I give you, like, the secrets?
My thought is from Ajax's perspective, it's constantly been like these almost triangulated pixels of how they've actually like viewed the world, like physically, as like that was the highest resolution that they could really offer. And with coming to like this realization, it almost comes into focus, and they are able to just see so much more detail, even in like these like not necessarily like important, the individual pieces. Everything becomes so much more granular. They're now able to like see the pores on someone's skin that they just hadn't been able to before.
Higher polygon count.
Yeah.
Exactly. It does not take almost any
Buddy
time at all for you
upgraded his
to
eyes to
download.
4K.
Got the OLED lenses now. So yeah, you almost instantly download everything in this macro chip, and it is, to your surprise, your writing, or the previous you. The previous
My
you
prior.
was an astronomer. And it's not in the text. This is almost like a textbook that he wrote. But it's in... You find information, like data, at the end that has been overwritten. Like he took just a copy of his own book and basically erased part of it to write something new. This is an account of other scientists in realm magic, in realm breaking, is what they would call it, is what you might call it now, of like altering reality in a way where it shatters on purpose, is an extremely dangerous kind of magic that is still studied just to prevent it from happening. They didn't know that's what they were doing. And your previous life had no, like, didn't really understand how that magic worked, but understood that it was deeply dangerous. As we talked about before this, if you have, I'm gonna you can give 2 questions, and then I'll still give you like the big lore, but if you have 2 questions now you want to ask that will both be true.
The only one that I had really thought of beforehand was what happens to cause the unraveling of reality, but I think I have pretty close to an answer with just those descriptions that you've given me already.
I think I can give you a bit more then.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good one. So yeah, some scientists did this. You find a passage, because this is like a little bit of, I don't know, maybe you like downloaded your journals into this format that would survive longer. The journals say, there's just one passage that really stands out of, I heard I'm trying to think of the word that they would have used. I heard these chaos mages say this thing had opinions. I thought they were working on like a generator or like a pool. Are they making a thing? A person? This is terrifying. I have to tell somebody. And there are unfortunately very few entries after that point, and they are mostly everybody that could stop them knows and won't do anything. If you don't have a second question right now, I have a second answer for you, but one that Ajax would never have considered. Near the end, his prior mentions chaos expanding. You found an account of the Shattering. It is a very hastily written, like not well spell-checked, not well coded, it's somewhat corrupted account of that happening. And it expands. There's a mention of the Phoenix. You think it's a ship that he's talking about. And because you rolled a 20, this is the thing that you, Ajax, realize with this account, with the data you have, and the astronomy. You go outside of your room, and you look up at the sky. The stars are exactly as described in the book. You think about New Avalon's stars, and while they're in slightly different positions, you realize it's the same patterns described in the book. You look at this description of the chaos expanding, and your understanding of how the universe's shape changes. It is accepted that everything in existence is chaos except for these bubbles. But that's not true. You realize now, you are living in a bubble of chaos with precious few spaces. You are living inside of the thing they created. You are living inside what you assume to be the Realmkeeper. I'm gonna let you chew on that. I'm gonna let you chew on that for a second. Cam, you are
Just
currently
like the realm
fishing.
either chewed on all those fucking realms.
No, everything was one realm, and the Realmkeeper ate all of it, and you guys managed to live in the
Oh,
bubbles
I
that have
see.
survived. It's effectively just surrounding what your book, the astronomy book, describes as the Earth. You don't think it got much farther than maybe the solar system. It's not infinite, it's the size of the solar system, maybe. I'm gonna let you guys chew on that, like I said. Cam, you're fishing in what Ajax knows and you don't know yet to be the body of the Realmkeeper.
Sure. Why not?
Really quick, you guys hear music? It's ended for me. Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah. You don't know that yet. Cam doesn't know that yet. I think this is a very funny scene to go in. You're just taking a fishing pole into the body of a being in chaos.
Yeah.
Let's roll to see what you get out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, this is flavored dungeon dive, so I will roll, d20, and then I'll use my furthest cast in the west, Fisherman's Digest, at rank 2.
Yeah.
How is a... That is a 6 on that. That's going to be a 22.
Hey, that's a crit. You get a whole loot crate.
Nice.
So, do you think this is the same day that you were talking with Rodram, or is this like a different day? Does he have people around him or no?
I think, sure, we'll say same day.
Yeah, sure. You are showing Rodram how to fish. I think he has now used your fishing pole. He still has a hook. You judged it to be a good hook. He did go to like someone who does like Aether
Make fish hooks.
Yeah. So he's not working from zero. He's caught like some fish. You have just pulled something much more valuable in one of these sort of like more condensed chaos magic into a loot crate. What do you imagine it looks like? Give me some flavor.
I imagine it looks like a magical octopus.
Okay. Yeah, being in the Ald Isles, it does seem to be like obtaining some of this high magic. So there is this like light constructs of it. In my head, it's really more like a balloon that has light tentacles coming out of it. Because it's like an air fish, effectively.
Gotcha.
Yeah, give me some. So you just pull that out. Do you think it's difficult? Do you think it's pretty easy?
Well, given it's an airfish, I think it probably is fairly easy, and Cam is almost surprised by how light this fish is for how big it is.
I think it's fighting you the whole way, even once it's like above the edge of the boat. It's trying to fly like north, effectively, like away from you, or even up. You do have to like net this thing.
What is this fish?
This is the one time Rodrum's more prepared than you are. He's like, yeah, that's. You got to be careful with that. That's gonna get away from you. Would you like help? And you're like, nah, I got it. And you just have to grab a net, I think.
I can wrestle this in.
But instead you grab this, I think it's probably carrying a container of some kind.
Yeah, and so Cam will, with this fish, he'll bring it over to a table and kind of sweep everything off of it. And you'll see that the table is actually... It's actually big enough to fit this whole fish on it. And so you'll put the fish on it and take a pot of ink out from underneath. And he starts painting ink over this fish.
To what end?
So if Rajam is going to ask, Kim will look up
He's
and
watching,
say,
like, I've never seen this prepared this way. We usually don't catch those. They're not a lot of good eating.
I don't do this for the eating. This is for... And as he finishes, he'll pick out a large roll of paper. I like to make a print of the fish to send to my granddaughter when I catch something interesting.
That is very sweet. I'm sure she enjoys that. Rodrum has no idea how much lore was just dropped about you. He is oblivious to this.
Yeah, it's a tradition we have. It's been a while since I've caught anything interesting enough to warrant a print. I don't know if this fish will imprint properly. It's hard to catch the colors and the lightness with just this regular black ink that I have.
He considers for a moment, and if I might help, and you have like the print of it now. I think he, if you let him, he'd put a hand next to the paper, and because it's already like kind of, it's already like filled with high magic. He puts some high magic into places with a lot more, like, I don't know, finesse than you would have imagined. And at least gets those parts to be colored with this, like, vibrant gold light color as the octopus would have.
Ah. That's much better. Thank you very much.
Of course. Anything I can to help someone appreciate the All Dials. It's as you're probably wrapping this up, and again, it had some container with it. I think it's probably like or maybe it had eaten it, and as you've like flattened and printed it, it just like pops out. This thing is kind of delicate.
Fucking gross. That's disgusting.
And he's like rolling the fish
Yeah.
so that the print is, and as he does it, just pops out.
Look, cleaning fish is gross. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Awful. I hate it.
You have to like take this back. In my head, it is like a hard case, but it's not a suitcase. It's almost like a crate you would see on a ship, like a smallish one, you know.
Yeah.
You can recognize, especially as a beacon with like more advanced magical senses, like, oh yeah, it's full of the same chaos magic that the ship, the Aetherwake, tends to collect, and you guys get to have access to. So you go and clean that off on the back, I assume, where you would clean fish for eating.
Yeah.
And Rodrum leaves you be after he's helped. It's while you're hosing this crate off, you get a phone call. Does Cam answer it?
I think
You can
Cam
say,
will.
call again.
Yeah, I think Cam will ignore it the first time because he's in the middle
Yeah,
of
yeah.
doing something.
Exactly. You can almost tell that it's Anselm calling you without looking, because instead of an immediate second call, it's like 5 to 10 minutes later. Like, he's gauged, like, if he didn't answer, he's not going to answer immediately. He's doing something. And so it's after you've already cleaned this case and you've, like, set it aside, you'll open it later. Then another call comes. You've almost set up for fishing again. You're like, all right. So you cast a line out, you sit down, and then you answer the phone. Like, it's almost about to go to voicemail, effectively, by the time you answer it.
Yeah.
He's not even upset. Like, this is just how you guys contact each other already.
So Cam will pick up and go, "What?"
You are working for me right now. You remember, yes?
Yes, I'm standing guard.
Yeah. Well, mostly I would like, if you have any updates about conditions in the Alt Isles. I've been in some contact with the council, so I'm understanding there's some Aetherling problems, but do you have any updates, any insight into what's going on beyond the obvious?
Oh, yes, so as you heard, the realm crystal broke apart. We fought essentially an avatar of the realm eater. We fixed the realm crystal, and I just collected a souvenir to take home.
Do you have, Lucian, do you have any names for your granddaughter off the top
I
of your
think
head?
Emily, yeah.
It's like, oh, Emily will love that. Because I think he knows that that's the souvenir you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, I have to bring
I
something
was-
back, and I couldn't exactly bring back the realm crystal.
That would cause problems, yes. We've heard, like, we have records of the legend of the Realm Eater, but what? Do you have an idea of what it is? They're being generally, in the Kajasi way, very metaphorical here, and you're a lot more direct. You have thoughts on that?
I did not get a lot of insight into what kind of being it was, besides that it's, trying to eat the realms.
And if
I
can
think,
give you a
I
little
believe-
something that I think Cam
sure.
would pick up.
sure.
It is not like it's not immortal. It's not this legendary thing. It has lived a long, long time, but that's not even that unique in this realm in particular. It's more long-lived than probably anything. I don't know that there's any Keldrassi that were alive before the Shattering, but that's a close call. Like, that's only by a fraction of their lifespan. So it's not like, you're not impressed by the longevity of this thing, and you felt it be afraid of dying.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and Cam will say, if anything, it's not a god, it's not an immortal. It seems to just be something very old. Maybe even older than you. Although that's hard to say.
Ha. He does a fake laugh, but he is, like, clearly in thought. Like, that's almost a reaction at this point to how you guys interact. Just The wizards will want to know. It's only a question if I actually tell them.
Well, that's, as I like to say, above my pay grade. And I believe it happens to be exactly your pay grade.
I regret sometimes that you let me talk. I'd let you talk me into taking this job.
Well, somebody had to do it, and it was not going to be me.
There's an unspoken, like, this is not the majority of wizards. He is talking specifically about, like, the council, the deans of wizardry, but just, damn wizards.
I think it's in this moment that there's a new fish on the line, and Ansem can hear over the line, over the connection, the sound of his spool unwinding and like a slight splashing sound.
Though I imagine it's a little odd sounding, like, or no, there is a splashing sound because your magic is so connected, even though there is no water to splash. Like, you create water to splash.
Yeah.
Ansem's just, seems you're busy. That's enough for now, but I do expect a more full report on the 7 families when you have the chance.
Yes, you will get a full report.
I'm sure. He says, believing that you will definitely barely put any words on that report.
Ajax ends up ghostwriting most of it.
Cam will hang up and kind of turn. Rodram, how much do you know of the 7 families?
You have just asked the eldest son of a man trying to become one of the members of the seven families what he knows about them. You have now triggered his special interest.
Oh no.
He goes, well, would you like a history or a current state of affairs? And I do think that might be an interesting place to basically like, oh yeah, current state of affairs, and then we like fade off from that.
Yeah.
The basics, my
I
guy.
imagine Cam's
Please
like, "Did
keep
you
that
write
shit
that?"
simple.
Yeah. No, Cam's trying to get
Could you
him to
write
write
that out
report.
on
He's
this,
like, you want to
on
write
Exactly,
this form specifically, actually?
yeah.
If anything, Cam is like, give me the brief version, and you can write down the long version, and I will read it later.
Excellent. Yeah. So having both a revelation about the nature of reality and a revelation about Cam's family, and it's difficult to know which of those is more monumental, we have... I'd love to revisit our 2 beacons who have just had a good sparring match and had some really good emotional moments. What do you guys do after sparring? I imagine there's still a little bit more training for the day. Like, that's not the end of it.
Absolutely.
So what's the flavor there?
I mean, I think after sparring kind of feels properly limbered up, but it's probably gonna go back to like more like physical routines. So
Yeah.
more push-ups, more sit-ups, more crunches, more laps around the estate, more lifting heavy shit. You know, like.
I think Hayes will join you for maybe like a third of that, like the first third, and then we'll out in corners and maybe go talk to Salva about what it's like being a beacon. I'm checking out.
Fair enough.
All that
I'll allow
training
it.
shit, that's
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
did my part.
He has a lot of insights. He'll tell you sparing stories, honestly. Like, he tells the story, but it's not as verbose as Kana tends to be. But of like his time as a beacon, it was a time where he isn't like responsible for, but is a major player in why there are like such inter-realm cooperation now. He was the beacon here that was alive at the time, and it's, I think, interesting. There's a lot of talk about both responsibility and being like connected to people, as he said. And all while Kana is continuing his physical workout. Which I assume a lot of running, a lot of still lifting stuff, probably a lot of drills and like, how fast can I do this thing?
I have put Shalane on my back, and we are now lapping the house as fast as we can.
Yes. It is a wonder to everyone that Shalane is mostly muscle
You
when
carrying
he gets
Tinker
carried
on
around.
a walk because she
Yeah.
aggy at everyone.
Exactly. It is later into the evening that you are both called to the house for dinner.
I do
Connor,
love
your
food.
grandmother has mostly done the cooking at this point. You think you can tell, and you're maybe curious as to why, because usually your mother also helps, while Dross is also like helping set things up. He's a plate for all of the beacons, although I think that Ajax and Cam are busy elsewhere, as well as himself and the rest of the family. As you are brought in.
Kana bursts into the dining room, just like takes a wide sniff and just like, the scent of this feast is a soldier's call to war, and I am eager to answer.
Always a battle with you, isn't it?
Now, the war then! And he just like jumps over and it's like starts lawnmowering his way through food.
Mm-hmm. Your grandmother and Deus and Dross both smile. They are tucking in as well, with admittedly less exuberance, let's say. Kana, you notice your mother is more not sad and not like upset, but more subdued. Hayes, I think you're also picking up on that as you've spent more time with this family now and can tell better. She's eating, but less so, and she does seem to be deep in thought.
I think Kana eventually, like, mid-bite, like, lifts up, huge swallow, and picks up, like, a small kind of, like, bread-like pastry with, like, a little kind of, like, it's kind of like a custard inside of it almost, and
Yeah.
looks over at Hayes just like, have you had a fire flower roll yet?
No, what is it?
And he will just kind of very
I'll
swiftly
take
just...
it.
Oh, no, he just pop.
Oh! They will oblige and chew and swallow. And I think this like wide smile starts to creep across their faces as they... Oh. I'm a sucker for
Janae
custard.
notices.
I'm a sucker for custard. Oh, this is delicious. We should visit here way more often. I think it would be great if the wizards sent us back.
Yeah, Janae clearly looks up, and it's a smile. It is maybe a sad one. Clearly mixed emotions, and we would be delighted to have both of you back. All of you back.
It would be nice to visit home more. I have missed this place. Missed these people.
I can also assure you that I can talk to your Anselm. You don't need the wizard's permission to come back. I'm under the impression you have some time off.
The realms hath no fury like my mother. Are you well, mother?
There's a lot on my mind.
Do you wish to speak
Good,
of it?
bad, complicated. Well, some we will later, although I would like to ask how you two are. And there is a heavy implication in that. It is not as aggressive as a father saying, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" but it is of a similar vein.
Anna blinks obliviously. I am unharmed. Friend Hayes?
I
Janae
believe
sighs.
we had a good training session today.
Yeah. Janae sighs. Again, this is almost more affectionately than she was before, and then to Hayes of, this has my blessing. Though the Kadrase live long, I have advice for you, if you two would have it.
Certainly.
I'm never keen to hear your wisdom, mother.
You can tell that your grandmother is also like just smile, like she understands the advice that is going to be given, and they've probably talked about this. No one here is as oblivious about the situation as you two, except maybe Dross. Dross seems like he had other stuff going on. But Janae says, I have been thinking recently on my husband and my marriage. We thought we had all the time in the world. And though we were wrong, never once did excuse me.
Balmora.
Palmora, thank you. Palmora? Did I not?
Balmora.
Falmora. Oh, there he is. All right. My notes are a little messy. Though Falmora made sure to live every day, I would pass his advice to you. Though nothing lasts forever, it's important to enjoy what you have now. I do not fear for Kana. You, my son, have always enjoyed the moment as your father has. I believe when we know our time is not unlimited, that is the best way to enjoy it. She sighs, some of that happiness leaving of. I have been asked to become the council member for our island.
That is a heavy weight to
Salva,
bear.
it is. Salva considers himself both too old and not connected enough to take that. And as Kana knows, and he's addressing you more, Hayes. I feel like Kana's probably eating a lot at this point. To you, Hayes, like, as you would not be aware, the member of the 7 families must be connected to as many people as possible on the island to represent them. That's why our family must step up and do so. It is heavy. It's comforting to know that you two are enjoying yourselves as much as you are with what I would consider heavier responsibility as beacons.
If there's a weight to bear, it does seem that Kana will bear it gracefully, with dance.
And there is no weight in the world that your broad arm cannot bear, friend. I have known little but joy since the day I have met you, Ace.
Maybe you'll get as strong as me if you keep doing all those push-ups.
And he kind of like almost like flushes a bit and like puts both hands up. Are you certain?
It is not impossible. You do have plenty of time in the world.
And I would enjoy spending as much of it as I can with you at my side.
I think, Hayes, especially being in front of your family, doesn't have a response to this other than getting a bit blue in the face and working on shoveling more food into their mouth so they have a reason to not reply.
Dea Salva is the one who speaks up to Kana, is like, I can see why you like them. She's smiling and chuckling to herself, enjoying Hayes being very awkward.
Kana, being a dork, is just going to like nod rapidly. Of course, they are strong and caring and kind and beautiful.
I think mid this slinging of compliments, Hayes will just kind of like, while putting food in their mouth, jab with the elbow, trying to get Kana to stop.
I don't think that works. I think Kana's too resistant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like blink someone. I'm sorry. Have I misspoken?
Is it not a bit gratuitous?
If you may, Draw speaks up. I think you will realize that Kana could be defined as gratuitous.
He like just looks at Hayes, blinking a bit confused. Is there any reason why I would not sing your praises as often as possible? Then he kind of turns his head the other way and smiles. Hayes, you are a ray of sun on a long day. You are a field of flowers atop a beautiful mountain, set the sky behind wide and blissful. You are a wondrous sight, something worth singing about.
I think internally, Hayes is sort of like wet piece of paper, like just melting down the side of their chair, and they will look very pointedly at their plate of food and say, "We're not as good with words in my family or in Magnolia, but I feel the same."
And I think he just smiles really wide, flush of pink on his face, and like nods to himself and looks down, almost like isn't really eating, just kind of like idly toying with his fingers somewhat. Just good. That is good. Balmora in heaven, like, that's my fucking boy!
Yeah.
That's my goat! That's my son!
Exactly. Quietly, internally, but yes. Let's say it's slightly more dignified than yelling like that in the middle of dinner, but yes.
He's in heaven now. He can yell whatever he wants.
Exactly. Unless there was something else during this dinner. The rest of the scene is yours if you would like.
I think the only other thing that Hayes would really want to express is like appreciation to Drané and
Yes.
Deis. Is that
Deus.
how? Deus. Thank you.
Hmm?
I spelled it funny in my notes. Deus for the wonderful food and hospitality.
Days in particular is quite pleased. It's like this. Yes, of course, it's great food. She's happy to show you how she cooked it. If you want to help for the next few meals, if you want to see, interested in what recipes you might have, etc.
That sounds like a wonderful time.
Exactly.
Anna, who
yeah,
was
I think
already
that's-
kind of like doing a bit of blushing, perks back, like it's like doing a bit of looking down. An ear perks up somewhat at like as they're talking. Considers briefly the idea of eating food prepared by Hayes. Flushes entire face pink and just like shoots his head down under his hands.
The way to his heart is through his stomach. Clearly,
It's true.
Gay. These bitches gay.
True.
good for them. Good for them. Yeah, that's I think the scene that we leave on there. It is a. I need to change mood change here. It is a few more days from the end of this scene, the scene we've had with Cam, with Ajax, until we reach the council. The council wishes to talk with you. Before we get to that, I am curious, especially with Ajax and the team, how Ajax, you have received what would be pretty much a massive revelation as to the nature of reality, but also one that is maybe not as appreciated, or maybe it is. I'm curious to know how you talk about it while every other character reacts to that information, and I think that's maybe a thing you are talking about to some extent. You muted, Foxy.
I think we walk back in on the scene of Kana being like, so, to clarify, the Realm Eater wishes to consume this place and all others, but this place and all others are also within its stomach?
Cam, in particular, I think you think of certain oceanic creatures that envelop something to digest it slowly.
Yeah, I think. Well, for one, Cam is all of a sudden now looking at all the stuff he's fished up in like a slight disgust of like where this is just I fished this out of the realm.
Changes your perspective on that a little, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he'll kind of just say, so yes, the realm has already been swallowed. This is just continuing the digestion process.
Anna starts like take like a really thoughtful pose, like hand on chin for a long while walking, and just could we make the realm eater vomit?
It might work.
Certainly a worthwhile challenge. Not slaying a god, but giving it indigestion.
In my head, like Dross is like leading, or like in the room, or like leading you guys to the council or something. Is I suppose you would have to find wherever in its stomach, throat, whatever for this metaphor, to poke at to make it vomit. Then is that the next great quest of the beacon? Is to find the realm eater's uvula?
The gag reflex.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly sounds less
What odd
dramatic
lives
when you
beacons
phrase
live?
it that way.
Perhaps. Connor, are you experienced with indigestion? You do eat quite fast.
I cannot say it has ever happened to me.
Dross would laugh. It's like, I don't believe it has either. Generally, when he eats things, it stays eaten.
Ana Alva, a more powerful stomach than the realm eater themselves.
We don't know that yet.
We will prove it.
I don't know. Have you?
We shall make it so, right?
Do we have any
Also,
realm
definitely
crystals
my head,
nearby you
Ajax
can
is
try to
like-
eat?
Yeah, Ajax is like, that's not technically true. Like, that's not quite the right metaphor, because like is understanding much more like the physics of this. Because like, no, we really put up a bubble to prevent that from happening. Like, that's the.
You
plan,
want to
but-
talk to me about math?
I'm not
Shut
saying
up!
he does say that. I'm just saying inside his head, that's probably what's going on. It's like that's not quite how that works. It's not.
Listen,
But
it's,
I mean,
it,
like,
we're,
is that a
it,
bad metaphor?
it's not incorrect, but it's also not correct.
Exactly.
Here's a
Yeah,
brief moment where he gets a
unless
bit more
there's-
serious and just like, it is certainly a monumentous challenge. We have already faced what I thought would certainly be our dearest duty yet, and to find out it was only a mere fragment of this thing. What we must face is so much larger than all of us, larger than all the realms combined. And then suddenly he's just smiling brightly again. Thankfully, I am quite skilled at felling larger foes.
Yeah, you guys are all in the ship, or in a ship that is now arriving at the council, like building, I guess. It's not the same one that you went into previously. They have various other places to meet, and this one's a little less of like the big officiation type place. But you're still led into a fairly nice building. You are led up to the council, who now with the same almost members, except for of course Kana, your mother, being the representative for your island. They stand and bow respectfully before sitting back down as you enter. Hail, beacons. We're glad that you came again.
It is an honor and a pleasure.
We wish to inform you that we no longer need you to stay here. We have developed a more thorough way of both detecting and preventing aetherlings from taking over a person, so long as they are not completely taken over before they re-enter the realm. Your work with Fadro was an excellent study in this.
Kana kind of looks to his friends, and there's a noticeable, like, he still has the usual, like, cheery smile on his face, but there's definitely a notable, like, slight drop in his eyes somewhat. And our work here is done. And we will be off on another adventure very soon.
I'll have to pick a specific one. It's Vastin Lov from the Isle of Renai who speaks up as, yes, we believe we have been convinced to continue to work with New Avalon, especially in light of what you have told us both from the defeating of the Realm Crystal and Ajax, what you have discovered. I assume Ajax has told more than just the beacons.
I don't know, gang.
Or is he
Maybe
good?
we might have tucked that one close to the chin for a little bit. We
It's
want to
fine if
go
it
around
is.
telling people
Yeah.
like, hey, so
Yeah.
reality's actually inside God's stomach. Don't
It's
overthink
little
that
chicken
too much.
little, the sky is falling type vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like maybe it's a
Yeah.
big.
Then it might be
Yeah.
just what they did to the crystal.
Yeah.
Chouse?
I've got so many questions, my guy. Like I've been mulling this over, and I just keep on stumbling into more questions, man. It's
Entirely fair.
I-
That tends to
I've-
happen when your
I've
notion
been
of reality
chewing
gets
on this, and
upended.
it like I haven't been able to solve anything. It's just kind of been breaking up into more questions, and now I just have like, well, lay upon my field of questions.
See that it is too fucking full.
It's too fucking
Uh,
full.
Ajax is just like constantly getting slightly overclocked. Like you can just hear the whir of
The fucking pan
Yeah.
and spinning spinning up.
every part of
Like
like
when you
physics
open up
and
a
magic.
blender
You're
on
like
a laptop.
re-questioning. Like, so it's just like this revelation of it can be destroyed. We would caution you though, Beacons. Though you work for New Avalon, it seems difficult to believe that the Wizards of New Avalon are not also as aware as we were, nor that they would not be as beset as we were by the Aetherlings. We know you owe an allegiance to them, 2 of your members especially, but we decided to put our trust in you, not in them.
Okay, 1 second. Instant replay me real quick.
Mhm.
What just happened? Real quick. Instant replay me.
Yeah, before they were questioning, like, are they going to keep working with New Avalon? Or are they not? That was like the original thing they asked you about.
Okay.
And they're just saying, like, yeah, we'll work with them. Clearly because, like, this thing, the Realmkeeper, can probably be killed. They're just saying, don't trust the Wizards of New Avalon too much.
Right. They're saying like we're
But, like,
we're working with New Avalon because we trust you guys, not because we trust
Yeah.
them. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. No, I thought
they're
that was
saying,
the case.
don't. Yeah. And also, in particular, that, like, there was a bunch of Aetherlings here. And they were aware of them and trying to deal with that problem. And you guys haven't heard of anything about that in New Avalon. It just seems ridiculous that, 1, there wouldn't be a bunch of Aetherlings trying to take them out, and 2, that the Wizards of New Avalon wouldn't be aware of it. So, like, clearly you guys aren't being told anything, told everything is what they're saying.
Mhm.
That's a very fair point.
And the 2 of us that are more beholden to New Avalon would be myself and Cam, yes?
Honestly, I think they're probably saying Cam and Ajax.
Oh, okay, got you.
You to a lesser extent, sure, because you do live there, but, like, Cam works
Yeah.
directly for them, and Ajax's
Yeah.
entire, like, people came from New Avalon, like, in concept.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Cam will have much of a reaction to that. He already has his suspicions because of what Anselm said earlier. But he basically just trusts Anselm and will, follow what he says. So
And you guys don't need to react to that if you don't want. Oh, continue, sorry.
I think Ajax would also state that they also shared this distrust with the Wizards, especially with like these recent revelations of their priors, like previous life of the with the revelation of like the chaos sorcerers and stuff
Yeah.
the chaos mages, that like the secrecy has been forged for a reason. They recognize that whatever it is that they are doing would be met with opposition.
Mhm.
They do not want this opposition.
It's another of the council members, Madra Vasand. She speaks up as this is the line that all rulers and all governments must navigate between honesty and secrecy, security and accountability. We're not saying that they are evil, undeniably. Just that you cannot always trust the people in charge that do not tell you everything. It is in their nature. It is in our nature. This is why we need beacons.
Anyways, fuck the police.
A little bit, yeah. I think they'd even like say something to the effect of like, yeah, we had to keep these secret to prevent panic, but perhaps we should not have. Perhaps if we had trusted the populace, it would not have gone as far as it had. We maybe would not have nearly destroyed the realm. Will you do this? Will you help the people of New Avalon as you have us? Will you fight the Realm Eater? Will you fight for the people?
I will go where my soul is called, as I always have. And it has always called me to fight for those who cannot. Whether it is against the Realm Eater, against anything else, there is no force, no mage, who will oppress anyone while I stand.
And we shall stand beside you.
Kana's mother smiles. She knew that answer was coming. I think they all did. It was more maybe a formality. I think the rest of the scene is yours if there's a statement you wanted to make here. Or if perhaps we want to end this and have one more scene together.
I have an idea, but I don't know. Well, let's see. With Ajax's new perspective, the idea is like, actually, the Realm Eater's kind of onto something. As everyone looks to them in horror, and they'll just go, "Gotcha."
I hate you.
Ah.
I hate you.
It seems expanding your mind beyond ones and zeros has also given you a new sense of humor, huh?
I think
A
so.
particular council member is frowning very deeply. Taram Cross, just like is not happy with that, and you can see in his eyes of like, was this a mistake? Another council member just a hand on his shoulder, like, it's fine. I think it's Kana's mom's like, it's fine. Ajax, it's just
Ajax is
Don't worry,
recently
they're all little
discovered
like this.
humor and just doesn't
Yo.
know when to put the brakes on and just like full set.
full send every time. Let's go.
He has
Yeah.
the fucking jokes. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I think Khan just like takes like a very long, slow breath, and it's just like, it has been a joyous occasion to be home, to feel at home again. But if the wind calls me away, I will answer and follow, with wonderful friends behind me. Are we ready for whatever comes next?
I still
Of
have to
course.
get a beat.
only one way. All of us waiting for the dramatic moment and all going at the same time.
The first
We all
thing
have
that
to-
comes to my brain is,
Bumble!
Bumble! Ajax would probably say there's only one way to find out.
Kana will extend his hand towards his friends and kind of like put it out towards the middle. Lucian, I think you're muted.
Come on, Cam.
Really?
Yeah.
I do
And
love
Cam
Kana's
will
not saying anything.
reluctantly-
He's just smiling. Just.
Cam will reluctantly put his hand in the middle.
Yeah.
Kana will like clutch, like put his hand back on top and then clutch all of his friends' hands under his, kind of like hold them for a brief moment in his very small hand. And let us go, Beacons. We have a story to write.
And on that, I think we leave this scene. We see another macro chip in another place. Gunmetal and sterile dim lighting. We see two scenes that flicker between each other too similarly as we see what is in this macro chip. There is a glass container surrounded by magical circles, flickering to another very similar glass container with instead complex, large machines that to the eyes of anyone in New Avalon would be outdated, ancient even, but still technology, grays and plastiques. As it flickers between these two scenes, we see the same roiling black chaos. A small microcosm, a visualization made visible by the magic and technology around either of these cases of an Aetherlin, the soul of chaos. And as the older macrochip version with the chunky technology, the almost failing digital image fades, we are left only with the magical circles around a much sleeker cage. And eyes. Old, wise eyes. Watching it. Knowing this is the enemy, and we must not let others know that it is coming.
These bitches!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here on Knights of New Avalon, the last episode of this quest in the Ald Isles. My name is Tate Washburn. I have been the GM here, and I would love for my players to tell me who they are, who they played today, and where we can find them next.
Wait,
Starting with whoever would like to go first, or I will start calling on you. like
Kids,
a teacher.
dickheads, what's going on, internet? I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I can be found all over the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXII, occasionally with an underscore in the middle. And it has been an honor and pleasure to play for you all tonight the lovely Kana Alva, the Orient Cavalier, our little Kadrase arsenal, littlest guy with the mostest swords. And I've loved this quest line, if I can be self-indulgent. Obviously, it was a bit of a character arc for myself, but just being home and getting to have these like fun, soft moments with you guys has been so fucking satisfying and heart-filling. If you're looking for more of me, I'm usually right here on the Online Roleplay. In particular, next Tuesday, as in exactly 3 days from now, you'll see me right back here for another installment of Tears of Divinity, Fading, Chronicle, Our Lancer, Odyssey. Or if you want to see me be a not-so-little guy with less swords but still swords and a lot more trauma, it'll be great. Otherwise, yeah, I'll be locked in here with you guys and rocking it out for the rest of the year as I always do. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there with me. Please hang out and follow us right here on the Let's Roleplay. And otherwise, be good to yourselves. That's in order. I'm passing it to my Emily because she's incredible.
Aw, thanks. Yo, I'm Emily, or Ekchan. I had the joy of playing Yoon, Sapphire's Glare, and next time you can find me is maybe if I play more Deadlock with Chouse, or here in the future. Stay tuned. keep an eye on those fucking socials because things are coming, things are on the way, and you do not want to miss them. That's all I got.
Chow seems to be thinking, so let's have Lucian next.
Hey, I'm Lucian. I play Cam the Solitary Angler. You can find me here on Thursday for Steel and Arbor. I've got one show per week. That's all.
Your weekly dose of Lucian.
Yep.
Excellent. And then, last but never least, Chows, tell the people.
Yo, I'm Chouse. I have taken so many notes this session. It's just fucking ridiculous. I think the only session that I took more notes in was with the different realms of the
Magnolias.
Yeah, the Magnolia realms stuff. I think it's close to about 40 pages of notes throughout this game. Like, it is ridiculous. I have so many questions, and this call is probably going to extend for like another hour. Just me trying to
probably.
Yeah, get more answers out of Tate, because what the fuck. Secondly, what the fuck. Thirdly, what the fuck. Wow. Okay.
Where can I find you next?
You'll probably find me Thursday is when I usually stream on my own channel. It's Chouse. Probably gonna be playing some more Deadlock, maybe some Minecraft with the new Create mod that came out, making
Perfect.
physics. Yeah, and you can mainly find me in the Discord. Somebody hit the fucking command.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, my name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at Tate the Terrific, any place I
Damn it.
care to be found. If you find me somewhere else, no, you didn't. But what you should really do is follow this channel's social media at Neon Lights Roleplay on Blue Sky, where several people much funnier than me do all of our announcements, and we announce cool stuff and new shows that we're doing. Or you can join us in the Discord, where we meme and we stream, and we sometimes pick up new players and for cool things like this. You can find me next on Thursday at for Steel and Arbor, where I am playing a very shy, stealthy rogue who is deeply effective and bad at people. Otherwise, you'll find me back here in 2 weeks for Knights of New Avalon, and we will announce if that changes. Thank you, Twitch, and thank you, Internet, for being here. We have been the Beacons of New Avalon, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.